Get those Cybermen out.
G'day guys, Sam from the Cybermen here. Today I'm going to talk about my Shenron deck list. This is a couple of locals winning, nothing major, but it is a lot of fun. It's got the draft box support for Slug's army in it, which helps keep cards rested, helps stop your opponent from drawing, and just really works really well with the synergy of the deck. It seems to be almost made for this. Obviously not, but it works so nicely. I hope you like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Cheers guys. Alrighty guys, let's look at the leader first. So this is Shenron. When he attacks, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose one Shadow Dragon to add to hand, then shuffle. At the end of your turn you can choose one Shadow Dragon and restand it. His Awaken skill is when he is at 3 life, or when you have a unison with a specified cost of 4 in play, you can draw 2, choose up to 1 of your energy, switch to active mode, and flip this card over. On the Awaken side, Shenron attacks and draws a card. Sorry, there's the autofocus going weird. At the end of your turn, you untap all your Shadow Dragons, and you can tap 6 yellow energy to play up to 7 Shadow Dragons with different names from your drop area. Very, very strong skill. When this card came out, I thought, whatever, no one's going to be hitting 6 energy, but the meta has changed a lot, and this is a very defensive deck. You can definitely hit 6. It happens in almost every game that I use that. Sometimes use it more than once a game. So let's now look at the unisons. So I run 8 unisons in this deck. People might think I'm crazy. I probably will drop it down to 6. But first of all, we have the Meki Plotting Revival. So this card is a 4-cost unison. It's the one that you use on turn 4 to awaken. It's a blocker. When a marker is removed from it, you can tap one of your opponent's cards, energy, kind of leader, anything. And it's got a +1. You choose one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it can't be switched to active mode next turn. And then you draw a card. -4, you can take control of one of your opponent's cards, battle cards, not ignoring barrier. Very strong skill, taking big enemies, very good. Next, I have 4 of Vegeta, Unison of Fury. So this card I probably will drop to 2, just because having that many unisons can clog your hand. It wasn't a big issue, obviously. I won 2 locals with this deck, so it's pretty good. But seeing this in a matchup that isn't needed is a bit sad. So this card is for pretty much my main reason to run this is for Dark Broly. It works against Broly BR and other stuff as well, but what happens is, when you play him for 2, you can activate main and switch him to rest mode, or switch a battle card to rest mode to gain a marker, and then you can -1, your opponent can't attack with battle cards higher than their energy for the turn. So this shuts down Dark Broly. The problem with Shenron against Dark Broly is the little card skills can't be negated, and the 30Ks don't care if their skills are negated because they only have on-play orders. So it's very, very clutch against those. This won me games for sure against Dark Broly. Next we have the Shenron Chain. Everybody knows what this does, but I'll go through it anyway. This is a 1-drop Dragon Ball. When you play it, it can't be affected by your opponent's skills. When it's on the field, you tap 1, place it in the drop area, and find a 3 or 4 cost Shenron from your deck and play it. So usually, we do have a 3 cost, but 99% of the time you're playing this guy. Shenron, Shadow Dragon Leader. I have 4 of all the Shenron cards in here, except for, obviously, the SCR and 3-drop. This guy comes into play. He chooses a 4 cost or less rest mode battle card or a rest mode leader card, and it can't attack next turn. So usually you're playing this on turn 2, your opponent's leader has attacked, then you stun it. It can really stop some plays because there's leaders that do so much like at the moment in this game. SS4 Vegeta, not that it's played very often. You're stopping it from ramping. Other cards, you're just stopping them from drawing. Hit, stopping it from playing a 2 cost from the drop. Pretty good, really good. When it's removed by skill, you play the 1-drop and draw 1 card. Important to note that's not when it's KO'd on this card, so it is a blocker, but you probably don't block with it very often unless you know you can defend it. This guy, on the other hand, he is a revenge blocker, 30k, running 4 of this guy, obviously. When your opponent plays a battle card, its skills are negated for the turn, ignoring barrier. On-play orders still happen, but it's very strong, stops you from getting hit with double strike and things like that. And when he's removed by skill or KO'd, then you can play the 1-drop and draw 2. Very good, even just as a draw 2, because this card comes out for 1 on top of him. So you evolve it for 1 on top of that guy. Run that at 4 of. That's pretty much the crux of the deck, it's very strong. Now I run 3 Haze Shenron. So you'll notice I don't run the Haze Shenron ball. The only Dragon Ball line I run is this one. There are a bunch of them now, but I feel like this is definitely the strongest. And to make room for other tech, I don't run the others because I found that I barely use the Haze Shenron line. But I do run 3 of Haze Shenron Venomous Mist. This card is obviously good to play from the drop because it's a double strike, but it's amazing to kill big cards that come out on early turns. When you combo with this card, you can drop a Shadow Dragon and choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode with an energy cost higher than their energy and KO it. That happens during battle. It's almost like a Shigeshi explosive, very strong, so run that at 3. Next we have East Shenron, the Cryomancer, run that at 2. This guy is a counterplay. Tap 2, if your leader card is yellow, play this card and the card being played is played in rest mode. So it's just like the same as the Vegeta essentially. It also allows you to tap 1 from hand, place it in the drop and play a Shadow Dragon with an energy cost of 1 from your deck with its skills negated. Now that is awesome if you don't draw this guy in turn 1 and you do draw this, then you can tap 1, play that, and then next turn you can use it. But the main reason for this, again, is just another target to play from the drop area, 15k battle card. Next up we have Sin Shenron, Harbinger of Ruin. This is a 1 of. These guys, I don't usually play them with energy or with the balls. I just play them so that I can play them from drop. Again, this is a 20k. Sorry, that bloody autofocus is being a bastard. Anyway, he has Deflect. You choose one of your cards in rest mode and place it in the drop area, then choose one of your opponent's cards and switch it to rest mode. So that's good to switch energy to rest mode if you need to, switch a battle card or a blocker to rest mode. When this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, add up to 1 yellow battle card, 2 yellow battle cards with 1000 power or less from your drop area. So you're grabbing this or your super combo. The second last Shadow Dragon we run is the promo Surprise Attack Naturon Shenron. This card is actually really good. It's probably underrated. It's a double strike 15k, which sounds like not much, but I did win games with this, comboing my hand or board to surprise people. Funnily enough, it's called Surprise Attack. And then the auto is also really good. When your opponent plays a battle card or unison card, you may choose that card and switch it to rest mode. So it's just extra defense. It's once per turn, obviously, the skill's negated for the turn, but I use this when my opponent counterplayed cards to switch their blocker to rest mode when it was a Vegeta and things like that. Also stop them from having extra combo power, and then switch some big threats to rest mode on my opponent's turn. The final Shadow Dragon is Sin Shenron, Negative Energy Incarnate. Yes, I do have the gold version of this, but I'm not running it because I'm going to get that one graded. This is a blocker, ultimate obviously, it's a SCR, and Deflect. This card can't be affected by your opponent's skills. When it blocks, it can be affected by your opponent's skills, it can't be removed by your opponent's skills. When it blocks, it gets switched to active mode and you get minus 5k. So it's a 35k and you can keep blocking until it's dead or until your opponent out combos it. Usually you only block twice or so with this one because then your opponent starts to maybe combo out and you don't want to waste cards on defending it, but it's very nice. 35k beta as well, that's pretty hard to remove. So what happens is you tap 6 and you get to play 7 Shadow Dragons with different names. We actually have 7, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's awesome if you get them all. Otherwise, if you're missing one of these one-offs, you can play this guy just to start your chain again or get some extra combo power. So strong. Once you get that out, your opponent sometimes scoops. They're like, wow, that's a big board, I can't do anything, see you later. So let's get into the draft box support. I play 4 of Lord Slug Evil Invader. So I used to play the Jiru Searcher, but this guy is awesome. He still does his job for the SCR, so I forgot to mention this SCR comes into play for 1 energy less for each 1 drop in your drop area. That includes negates and things like that. So this is a 1 drop that helps with that. When you play this guy, you draw a card, and then you tap 1 to place him in the drop and play a Slug's army with an energy cost of 3 or less from your hand, or tap 1 of your opponent's battle cards, which comes in handy for blockers and things like that. This guy puts himself in the drop, so it almost feels like it's made for this. You're playing it, drawing 1, then you're tapping 1, place it in the drop. Same as the negative energy balls. It just plays with this SCR so well. So now the targets. So Slug then taps 1 to play a Slug's army. We have 2 in here, 2 different ones. There is Lord Slug Super Namekian. This guy is similar to the Majin Buu 6-drop from set 9, where if he's in rest mode, you need Bond 2, which is important to note, which is very easy. Bond is so easy to achieve in this deck because you always have a lot of battle cards. Your opponent cannot add cards to their hand with non-leader card skills. So add cards from the deck to the hand, sorry. So things like the draw rate, things like super combos, those things cannot add cards to hand. This came in clutch when my opponent had, 3 super combos in hand and he couldn't do the bottom deck draw 2 because of this card being in rest mode. So he had to attack into it and combo his super combos for nothing. Very, very strong. The other thing is it has barrier, and also, let me see, it's unique, so you can only have 1 in play. But then from hand you can tap 1, place it in the drop area and play a 1-drop Slug's army from deck. Turn 1 you can tap 1 and play this guy from deck to draw 1, which I've done before. This is a very good target for Slug, but my preferred target is Anguilla the Graceful Warrior. This guy is a 3-cost unique with critical. Bond 3, again, I never had a time when I was getting this out and not having Bond. It's very easy. When this card attacks, if your opponent has 4 or more cards in rest mode, which they always generally do, your opponent chooses 2 of those cards and they can't be switched to active mode at the next charge phase. So that is really strong because you can attack with this, your opponent probably chooses 2 energy or something, and then you're locking something with this, you're locking something with this. It's just so easy to lock your opponent down completely where they can't really do anything. This helps so much. It just lends itself so well into the whole archetype. I feel like I can't think of a better archetype to play this in, these cards. Because it's such a small package as well, I honestly might change the amounts of these and up them a bit if I can find some room, because they're so strong. Maybe remove one of the East Shenrons and put an extra Anguilla, but I love those cards and amazingly work beautifully in this deck. Next I run 2 of the Vegeta Prideful Transformation. I probably put this up to 3 if I change the deck. This counterplay is a blocker. The card being played is played in rest mode, so awesome. Again, another blocker. Your opponent just can't get through. You get this out and you can play him, or if you have this out early, you can do that as well. Very strong card. Next we have 2 of Counterblast Son Gohan as a super combo. This guy, if you have 4 or less life, he can either draw a card on your opponent's turn, or if it's your turn, you can draw a card, or you can KO one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode with an energy cost of 5 or less. Very strong. The problem is I very rarely go below 6 or so life. So I didn't get to use these that often. I did, however, use it for the on-play auto, which is when you play this card, switch up to one of your opponent's battle cards to rest mode. That, in combination with this guy, keeping it in rest, is very strong. Then I run 2 of Zamasu Sacred Disbelief. So this guy is pretty much in there for Gohan matchup. There were people running Gohan at our locals a fair bit lately, so I've been running this. I haven't lost against Gohan yet. So many blockers. This and Release from Evil just stop it. Obviously, when you combo with it, switch up to one of your opponent's battle cards or leader cards to rest. Awesome again in combination with these guys to keep things in rest mode. Release from Evil at 2. This is a free negate or free counter. Sorry, if you have Unison in play with an energy with 2 or more markers. It negates the skills of the attacking card. So this stops Gohan, and it can't restand as well. So Gohan can't restand. This stops people giving double strike to battle cards and leader cards. Very strong. Stops dual attack and things like that. Now we run 3 in Flying Nimbus. So this is the extra defense that you need to stay alive until turn 6, turn 7. I actually didn't really need to use this very often. You usually charge it because you do have so many blockers, but if your opponent has easy removal, it comes in very handy. Sorry, there's not much room on here, so I'm just stacking things on top of each other. We run 2 Zarbon, Emperor's Attendant. Again, this could probably be removed to fit in more pieces of the Slug and things like that if you want. But this guy on defense, you can restand, combo with it and restand one of your battle cards. Usually I'm blocking with the 9 drops in Shenron, then comboing this to restand him, just giving me another revenge blocker. Really good, but it actually doesn't get used that often because you do have so many blockers, you don't really need it. And 1 of Fu Shrouded in Mystery. This guy wins games just as much as the leader skill. What I usually do is on turn 6, I use the leader skill to play all my battle cards and then play this guy on turn 7. So I've got a massive board, plus this guy's opponents can't activate skills. Very, very strong. But that's the whole deck, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really love this Slug package. I feel like it kind of elevates the deck to another level if you can fit it in. So it depends. People can't play, the other Shadow Dragon chains, but I don't think that's needed. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Share the video. Comment down below, and I'll try to reply to everyone. We have now got a store on our website for all Australian residents, so jump on to www.thecybermen.com/shop and you can grab your pre-orders for set 12, pre-orders for set 13, and a bunch of other fun stuff, including custom mats and things like that. We'll be putting some merch up there as well at some point in the next month or so, so look out for that. Again, thanks for watching.